everyone, I hope you can hear me. This is Shari Carroll for SimonsStamp.com, and I'm going to be working on my journal page for this month, and it's also Stamptember, so I hope that you're enjoying the Stamptember festivities. I am starting with some Nina White cardstock, and I have been working on a journal that uses this format. Here, I haven't put it together yet. I will at some point, but I just wanted to show you how my pages look. So it's like a card, but these will end up going back to back so that it will be a top flipping book. So when I get going, those will all be stuck together. So it'll be kind of a fun and different type of journal for me. And you've probably seen these pages. I just haven't stuck them together. But I wanted to show you some new product as I get going. And I thought I would do my voice as I'm working. I know that a lot of you kind of get lost in some of the things that I'm using. So at some point I will speed up some of my work, but in general I'm going to try to explain the product really well. So I am starting off with my paper. This is Nina White cardstock, and I've gotten some new stuff and I kind of wanted to explain that too a little bit. So these are the new Art Basics from Prima, and this one is the soft matte gel. It's transparent, and a gel is used primarily for gluing. So I'm just going to use a lid here because it's plastic and it's great, but I'm going to be tearing up some papers and sticking them into my cardstock. So I'm going to get that going on. And so before I put my glue down, let me show you what I'm using. I have the Prima, this one is called Epiphany, and it has 30 sheets. These are really great. The size is really nice because it fits that whole length of my journal page, so it's really great. And this one, I don't know if this is going to show up, but it's got some really nice light prints, really pretty. And if you notice, there's 5 sheets of each print, and it's front and back. So if you're working on a collage, you have plenty to work with. It's really nice to have multiple sheets of the same pattern. Okay, so I've torn off a couple of the sheets that I want to go ahead and start putting down onto my collage, or my journal. And to start off, this one doesn't need to be top or bottom, but I kind of like that white look, so I might tear this up a little bit just so that it has a little more give as I'm working with it, so that I can kind of piece it together a little bit. Okay, so I'm using my soft matte medium, and this is the soft matte gel. It also comes in a glossy, but I prefer the matte. So I'm using it as a glue for my paper, so I'm going to go ahead and put down some generous amount, and then I can start gluing down my papers. Okay, the next product that I have here, and this is the Art Basics by Prima, and they are by Finavar, who's just a dynamic collage artist and just artist in general. So she's developed all these products for Prima, but this one is gesso, but it's clear gesso, and I've been waiting for this. I have some in another brand, but I haven't really been able to play with them much. But I'm so excited that now that Simon has them, and I can tell you what it's about. So clear gesso, why I would use this is I have put my gel medium all over the entire page, and now it is not as absorbent to my inks and stains and paints. And what this clear gesso does is it now primes my page again. Also, if I were using different papers that might have different tooth, and what tooth is like the grain of the paper, like a Nina is fairly smooth. A glossy cardstock is really smooth. So Nina has more tooth than glossy cardstock. So what this gesso does is it has a high tooth count, so that means the paints and stains are really absorbent. And also it will, I'm trying to figure out, and I have a train coming, so I'm getting a little distracted. So it's going to even my playing field, is what I'm trying to say. So if I have different papers, what this will do is just go ahead and even everything out. I know that all my paints are going to absorb the same way onto my project. It's nice and thin. You're going to put it on with a paintbrush really easily. And I will say that in between all these layers, I like to let this dry completely. If you don't, you're going to start getting this mucky mess under all these papers and stuff. So I'm just putting on my layer of clear gesso. It looks a little foggy right now, but it will dry completely clear. So I'll be back in a few minutes once that's dry. Okay, so next my page is completely dry, and I'm going to be doing some embossing on this. This is where you want to make sure it's super dry, because you don't want your embossing powder to stick where you don't want it. So just to make sure, I'm going to get out my anti-static bag here and just kind of run that over the area that I'm going to work in, and that's just one of those little pouches. And I have here a stamp from Darkroom Door, and this was made exclusively for Stamptember for Simon Says Stamp by Darkroom Door. So this is available just through Stamptember. So it's a really fantastic set. It's got these really great flowers. And so what I want to do is to clear emboss them. So I have my Versamark here. I've kind of put 2 on my block just so I can save some room here a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and line these up. Stamp my first set of flowers. And now I can ink up my other set, which is right here on top now. And I'll just stamp these right next to them. I can still see it's a little bit shiny there. Kind of add it in right there. So right now I'm basically getting my base done before I add color to my project. So I'm going to get all my little things done that I want to do before I add some final color. So I'm going to go ahead and run, and this is the new Simon Says Stamp clear embossing powder. We have clear and white. Make sure that, oh yeah, I can see it in there. It's going to really pop out once I get some color in the background. I haven't put this in a tub yet because it's so brand spanking new. Let me see if I can get it back in the jar. A little piece of paper will do. And I like to use my Milwaukee heat gun when I'm doing heat embossing. Sorry for the noise. Okay, the next thing I have, this is texture paste, and it's clear crackle, and so I'm just going to go ahead and use, I love polka dots on my projects, and I really love this one die. This is the medium dots from Simon Says Stamp, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of randomly add some dots up here. My main thing is that I wanted a clear medium, not necessarily a white, so that it will kind of resist my color when I get done. So I kind of see it's just kind of random. Might add a few more over off to the side here, make sure that I kind of line it up a little bit. Not going to be too particular. Just get a couple dots going on. Okay, and then again I'm going to let this dry completely, and be sure to clean off your palette knife and your stencil right away. Okay, things are really coming around, so now you can see that I have, maybe I can grab some glare, I can't really see it. But I have my dots up here, I have my embossed flowers here, and this is the white texture paste, it's the white crackle paste, and I'm just going to add in just a little bit of texture here and there with my knife, not really paying attention much to it. I think the funnest part of doing your journaling is to not worry about the boundaries and just do it. So just adding a little bit of shabby chic look to it. And it is crackle, like I said, so it's going to give me a little bit of kind of that shabby look a little bit. Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to go back in and add some fun embellishments. Okay, so now I have the soft matte gel, and I want the matte one because my whole page is matte except for my shiny dots and my shiny flowers here. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to be using some glass glitter and mica flakes. These are beautiful, and these will just add me a little bit of mystery, and they're just really fantastic. I haven't really played with stuff like this before, so it'll be kind of fun to see what I end up getting. So I'm just going to throw my finger in here and start adding just dots of the soft gel, the matte gel. Go ahead and clean that off. I always rub my hands together to get rid of that stuff. So I'm going to start off with the smaller of the two, and these are the glass glitter, and super fantastic. So get some clean fingers, and I'm just going to go ahead and start dropping this on into that wet gel. It's going to give me some really great texture. So I'm going to go ahead and shake that off. You'll be able to see it better once that gel is dry. Okay, so I put a piece of paper down below. I don't happen to have one of those little glitter trays, but I just used a piece of paper. Go ahead and put that back. And next I'm going to go in with some mica flakes. And these are a little bit bigger and they're soft. They're really kind of, it's almost like little pieces of plastic. But I'm just going to go ahead and lay these around. Hopefully some of that gel is still wet. Be a little bit heavy with it, press it in. Ooh, this is so pretty. Where is some of that? And again, I have that paper underneath me so I can grab what I don't get. It's kind of a dark piece. Getting stuff all over my fingers, but it's really cool. Okay, let's see what we have. So now you can start to see where those pieces are down below. Love how they're just kind of random. This is going to look really, really pretty once it's dry. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and clean this up. I am going to have to run this into a part 2 video. So if you click on those words in the center of the screen, it'll take you right there.